Assalamu alaikum, Siraj, Zaidi ka bahut adab, namaskar, and good afternoon. You're very welcome to the program after a lull of 3 weeks. But Imrana is in the studio as well, and so I am blessed to have her while I was away, and it was a fantastic show as it were. And I hope you liked the shows presented by Imrana and the group of our talented news artist, Charmaine Colvin, and of course, Sharad from London. So we have the full team, full house, and we will continue today in the same vein as previously we've been working away. So, Imrana, you most welcome to the program as well. Why not?
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, this is a Thursday and 3 p.m. We are here with your weekly show at Apna Radio, Dublin South 93.9. And yes, you are here. All our listeners might be missing, or yes, surely they were missing.
No, they were not missing.
No.
According to Charmaine, we don't need Siraj. That's what she said in the...
No, you need a leader always.
Not at all. No, you guys were fantastic, I must say that.
We tried.
So, lovely. So, without further ado, I would, we'll continue the program, and here's the news. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the news.
Good afternoon, I'm Charmaine Colvin, and here's your weekly news update on Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM. An elaborate scam which places people under digital arrest is sweeping across India, with losses of over 1,200 million rupees reported between January and April of this year, according to official figures. The digital arrest scam involves fraudsters impersonating law enforcement officials on video calls, threatening victims with arrest over fake charges and pressurising them to transfer large sums of money. In one case, a female doctor and her family were stripped of nearly £235,000 across bank accounts, mutual funds, pension funds and life insurance. The real number of people who have been scammed is unknown, as many victims often do not report the crime. Stolen funds are often funneled into overseas accounts or cryptocurrency wallets. More than 40% of the scams have been traced back to Myanmar, Cambodia and Laos, according to officials. Last month, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke out, warning people not to be duped by the digital arrest scam, which is currently very prevalent. A senior police official said that the scammers are educated men and women, fluent in English and various Indian languages, including engineering graduates, cyber security experts and banking professionals. Winter smog in Delhi has reached new dangerous levels, with the air quality score somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 this week, according to different monitoring agencies. The acceptable limit is less than 100. These scores measure the levels of particulate matter called PM2.5 and PM10 in the air. These tiny particulates can enter the lungs and cause a host of diseases. Despite India's Supreme Court ordering the government to take urgent steps to curb the pollution, nothing has been done. In addition, the effects of pollution making people sick and reducing life expectancy are widely known. A Lancet study found that pollution led to more than 2.3 million premature deaths in India in 2019. According to experts, solving Delhi's air problem requires monumental efforts and coordination. The sources of the problem are many. One of them is the practice of farmers burning crop remains to clear their fields quickly to sow seeds for the next yield. This mostly occurs in the neighbouring states of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. The smoke from farm fires hangs low in the atmosphere as wind speeds reduce during winter months. However, Delhi itself produces a huge chunk of the pollution from vehicle emissions, construction and factories. Experts say governments at the federal level and in different states need to leave their party politics behind and work together to solve the problem. New research has revealed that decades of caste discrimination has contributed to India having higher levels of child stunting rates than across sub-Saharan Africa. The two regions together are home to 44% of the world's under 5 population, but account for about 70% of stunted children globally, a key indicator of malnutrition. But while both have made significant strides in recent years, India's rate stands at 35.7%, with the average across sub-Saharan Africa's 49 countries at 33.6%. A child is considered stunted when they fall short of the expected height for their age, a clear sign of critical nutritional gaps. The study showed that children from higher-ranking caste groups in India are some 20% less likely to experience stunting compared with those from marginalised groups who occupy the lowest tiers. This conclusion remains significant even after accounting for factors like birth order, sanitation practices, maternal height, sibling count, education, anemia, and household socio-economic status. Nearly 3 years after an Indian family of 4 froze to death in Canada during an ill-fated attempt to enter the US, 2 men are facing trial, accused of trying to help smuggle them across the border. In January 2022, authorities arrested a man driving a van near the US-Canadian border on suspicion of smuggling immigrants. The border guards picked up 7 Indian nationals, but were told a family with 2 children had become separated from them as they crossed the border. A search uncovered the bodies of Vaishalaban Patel, her husband Jagdish, and their 2 young children, who had frozen to death in a nearby field, caught in a blizzard which fell below minus 35 degrees Celsius. Harsh Kumar Patel and Steve Shand are both facing charges of human trafficking, criminal conspiracy, and culpable homicide not amounting to murder in the US state of Minnesota. The trial is set to begin next week, and both have pleaded not guilty. Court documents filed in the case reveal an alleged complex global web behind smuggling operations that are designed to get foreign nationals into North America. In this case, it began with thousands of dollars in payments to illegal immigration agents in India, who then connected those eager to move abroad with a network of smugglers based in the US and Canada. Immigration experts fear clandestine smuggling networks will be used more by undocumented migrants in the coming years, in light of Donald Trump's incoming administration and its plan for mass deportations. India is introducing new initiatives to help raise the quantity and quality of cocoa bean production. Despite having several regions with weather conditions suitable for cocoa trees, India only accounts for 1% of the world's cocoa bean production. Global production is currently dominated by West Africa, where Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana between them produce more than half of the world's annual output. Indian growers can only supply a quarter of the beans needed by Indian makers of chocolate and other confectionery. The government has plans to invest in developing hybrid cocoa plants, which are more productive than existing varieties. In addition, there are schemes to train farmers on the latest techniques for growing and processing beans. Experts are working with Cadbury to develop hybrid cocoa trees. So far, the programme has come up with 15 new varieties, which are disease-resistant, drought-tolerant, and can withstand temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius. So that's all from me. Tune in next week to Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM for more news updates.
Thank you very much indeed, Charmaine. What a lovely news item you have put together today. And indeed, do you remember the film Donkey? That's what she's talking about, the illegal immigrants from India to the North America and to rest of the world. It is a big business in in India, exporting illegally people, usually illiterate people who have no education whatsoever, but they just wanted to be abroad and are exploited by these so-called agents. So be aware of them. If you know somebody, report them. And in Ireland as well, it is beginning to surface this kind of problem, and I'm on top of the issues. I've alerted Gardaís once actually on something that has happened here before. So that is a big news. And again, what can I say? The news is I've witnessed the air quality in Delhi. I'm just back from India, as you know. And the air quality is so bad that you cannot actually see the sun. It's a hazy, and it's, when you are traveling and staying outdoor for quite some time, you can actually feel that in your breathing and all that. But that's what the issue is, and nobody is doing anything about it. Mr. Modi is celebrating the Amrit Kaal, and rather than paying attention to the environment thing, and that is an issue. And of course, the pollution is the vehicles. Every day, hundreds and thousands of vehicles are added on the streets of Delhi, which witnessed the jam. Sometime I was going to the film studio where I was hosting a film festival, the second Irish Film Festival of India, at the Marva studio in Noida. And traveling from my hotel to the Noida film studio, there was a huge traffic jam and you're just sitting there, can't do anything about it. And the poor drivers cannot. They do their best to actually get you on time, but that is an issue. But there you go. That's for India with all the glorious, wonderful things. Food is just wonderful. People, of course, your own people, you talk about them, you meet them, you party them. And yes, talking about the party, the Irish Embassy was being very kind to host a glorious party for us, and indeed celebrated the 3 films that we have actually brought to India. The first one was My Left Foot, all-time hits, 11 Oscar-winning film directed by Jim Sheridan, a good friend of mine, and I worked with Jim on a couple of occasions. And his latest film, A Road to Aqaba, Along the Sky Road to Aqaba, a documentary on Peter O'Toole. That was the second film that we screened. And the third film was Baltimore, that was shot in County Cork in Baltimore, about the IRA lady who comes back from London to join the Republican. So all 3 films were received very well. The grand opening was a great success at the Marva Studio, Film City Marva Studio, and we were all, celebrating the second edition of the Irish Film Festival in India. How are we going to manage in the future? God knows, because I only can do things at a time. But thank God we have concluded 15th at the back of that, just before a month before here, the 15th Indian Film Festival of Ireland in UCD, where Mr. Marwa himself was here, and we managed to get, the guest. Would you believe this year we have 6 guests from India. Some of them came at their own expenses, including Mr. Marwa himself. Film director Kabir Lal, whose film Vanvas is coming soon, and we might actually include that in the next film festival. And indeed, the many Atul Tiwari was there, whose opening film was Mujib, The Making of the Nation. Satish Sharma was there. Satish film was the closing film, the short film that he directed. So quite a few people enjoyed it, and we really, at the back of that, we continued to work very hard for the following festival, which was obviously the second Irish Indian Film Festival of Ireland. And I would like to thank Tanvi Duggal, our Irish ambassador, Mr. Kevin Kelly, and all the staff that have actually supported the festival, including Mr. Marwa himself, who hosted the festival there. So that's it. I'm back with vengeance, and I'm trying to actually to know what's going on here in Ireland. And Imrana is here, so she might fill me in. And of course, the election is very much on your face. You can't go anywhere without looking at those idiots who are hanging from the polls, screaming to get your votes. So be careful who you vote for, because they do promise it this time of the year when you see them at the polling booth, polling stations. Ballot papers. You should read their manifesto, read what they're offering. Don't just go for those pretty faces hanging from the electricity pole on the street. But that's the tradition here. And yes, indeed, in the last couple of weeks, the world has changed. The long-range missiles has been commissioned by Mr. Donald Trump against Mr. Putin in Russia. And that is the sign of the Third World War. And we won't go there today, but I have in details to talk about the peace in the world and how it affects the global reality by the appointment of the Donald Trump as the second time in the White House. But that's a bigger issue, bigger news. We concentrate on the local news, and we talk about what's going on locally. And of course, we celebrate, nothing like celebration of songs and indeed the birthday and all of that. And Imrana is here to guide me. How are we going to do that today? There are quite a few of them. Zinat Aman is there. Salman Khan is there, and and quite a few. Sushmita Sen is there as well.
She's there. Then Then we have Badshah. Then we have
lovely.
Tushar Kapoor
is
and
there.
some other, not from Bollywood film industry, but we do have some big celebrities from politics or from sports. So which means we had celebrated birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru, then his daughter Indira Gandhi, and then we have the sports person Sania Mirza.
Lovely. We'll all talk about them and their birthday. But first thing first, Sharad is waiting for his clip to be broadcasted. So there you go, Sharad. Take it away.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here again to discuss another important topic related to India. If you recall, in August, we explored the legal system of India as potential enemy of the nation, surprisingly. That discussion was argumentative, but last week we did witness a Supreme Court's judgment on the bulldozers' action in India. Engaging in that discussion with a few intellectuals, it led me to some interesting insights about the origin of bulldozer justice in India. To my surprise, I discovered that bulldozer justice was not just a tool for so-called instant justice. Rather, our society, our Indian society and culture have both numerous mechanisms embedded for delivering such kind of justice. So there have been many instances of instant justice carried out not only by the public, but also by government authorities other than the bulldozer justice. So several key discoveries emerged from these discussions. Before that, we need to differentiate between the principle of natural justice and instant justice. So the natural justice emphasizes on fairness, transparency, and the due process. And this remains still the cornerstone of India's legal system. It is enshrined in our constitution, and we have a huge infrastructure which supports our constitution in order to implement the due legal process. The natural justice refers to the legal philosophy that certain fundamental rights must be upheld to ensure fairness in decision making. And this principle is deeply rooted in the rights to a fair trial, including the rights to be heard, the rights to be part of an impartial tribunal. And overall, these principles must ensure that decisions finally made are based on evidences and are not arbitrary action riddled with biases. So we are blessed in India that the natural justice is constitutionally mandated and has been affirmed by the Supreme Court in numerous judgments all this while. For example, Article 14 of Indian Constitution guarantees equality before law. And it also ensures that no person is denied the opportunity for a fair trial or a due process, a legal process. Therefore, this doctrine of natural justice applies not only to the judicial matters, but also in the administrative decisions, and it requires transparency and fairness in public administration. Right to information is one iconic example that the Indians have in order to pursue the doctrine of natural justice. But the concept of instant justice is a growing phenomenon in India, particularly as citizens are growing increasingly frustrated with slow pace of formal judicial proceedings. And we have witnessed over the years that extrajudicial actions such as police actions, mob lynching, vigilante justice, and even police encounters, they have become common. So what does that reflect? It actually reflects a deep-seated mistrust of the formal justice system in India. Slowly, it has got ingrained in our national psychology. There is a prevailing belief that mechanism of delivering natural justice is slow and ineffective, whereas the excitement and the immediacy, the urgency of instant justice, that is the winning factor. That appears to be more effective. It appears to be more effective. While everyone values the supremacy of the rule of law, on the other hand, the supremacy of Constitution of India, the visible action, the excitement, and the immediate punishment that instant justice provides, it makes it a clear, outright favorite against the slow, lethargic mechanisms of formal justice system. Briefly to understand that instant justice is just not new to India. It prevails all across. But like in Philippines, under President Duterte, the war on drugs, alleged drug users and dealers were killed in large numbers by police action. And that's between 2016 and 2022, where thousands of Filipinos were killed without due process under the guise of anti-drug operations. Or earlier in the 80s in South Africa, there was this concept called neck lacing, where during the apartheid rule, mobs used burning tires around the victim's neck, gruesome, and that was to punish the alleged collaborators or criminals. But then what is more important is that the instant justice and the violent use of that justice system is very clearly a reflection of lawlessness, a reflection of mistrust in the constitution. And these methods are often used in places where the governance is weak, it's below par. It does not happen in the developed countries. Overall, the frustration is clear because the Indian judiciary is overburdened. The Supreme Court alone has 80,000 pending cases. That's like 2023 statistics, with only 34 judges. There are millions of cases in India which are pending. The average duration ranges from 2 years to 50 years to seek justice. On one hand, in cases like Nirbhaya, it took 8 years of grueling delays and the process to give punishment to the culprits. The other instance where in 2020, under the allegation of encounter killing, 4 culprits of rape were killed in Hyderabad, and generally the public was at peace with this process. But then, who can forget 1984 Sikh riots, where on their own the public took charge of assassination of Mrs. Gandhi and resorted to violence and killing of innocent Sikhs in India, in very own country. But then we don't have to go far. Traditional justice system like the panchayats and especially the khap panchayats, they have provided justice to resolve community issues, and sometimes in a very controversial way. They have been seen as custodians of local traditions, local communities. Whatever the khap panchayats have been delivering, many a times they have been contrary to the principles of natural justice, and they have often bypassed formal legal channels. Still, there are thousands of khap panchayats and panchayats who are rendering administrative discipline to the villages. We have seen anti-Romeo squads, anti-ragging squads who have taken law in their own hand in order to bring peace and tranquility in the society. When I say anti-Romeo, I am not addressing the love jihad vigilante. That's another anti-social action by the elements of the society. So what we are witnessing is that there is a very fine line between the general behavior of the public, their expectation from their own traditions and customs, and relying simultaneously on the judicial process of the country, relying heavily on the constitution of the country to impart justice. But then, equally, there are failures on both sides. There are schools who punish children in order to bring discipline and learning in the society. But then there are fake encounters by the police in order to create a deterrence to the criminals and the terrorism in this country. The law takes its own journey, as we have seen in Ishrat Jahan case, where the police is implicated, is convicted, and then comes out clean, and then this cycle goes on for another 15-20 years. So it's a mix of methods where the judicial system and the behavior of the society are interplaying and are undecided about the boundaries where they have to rely on each other while also being self-disciplined and law-abiding simultaneously. It's a complex situation. We will continue with our discussion, but for now, the Bulldozer Justice has come to an end. It had created havoc, and the consequences of Bulldozer Justice as an example, which could have percolated down further into our society, has been stopped forever. And that's the good news. Thank you for patient listening this week also. Appreciate your feedback. See you again next week. Bye for now.
Are you part of a local community group or representative organisation active in the Dunleary Rathdown area? Why not join a network of over 400 such groups in the Dún Laoghaire Rathdown Public Participation Network? You can join the group, influence local policy, get regular updates about funding and other opportunities, connect with other groups like yours, publicise your group, and even get free training and support. Make sure your voice is heard through DLR Public Participation Network as a registered group in the county. Dún Laoghaire Rathdown Public Participation Network. For full information, find us online at dlrppn.ie. That's dlrppn.ie.
Broadcasting to South Dublin on 93.9. This is Dublin South FM.
Indeed, this is the Dublin South FM, and you're very welcome to the program. I'm back in the program, and Imrana is with me as well, and we're talking about various issues relating to the news and the kind of content that we broadcast. So, talking about this Bulldozer Justice, as you probably would know, the good news that Supreme Court has actually ruled against this bulldozer justice, and innocent houses cannot be demolished with, with bulldozers for those who are considered to be the victims of this, one way or the other if there's a crime committed in the society. But that doesn't mean you go out and you bulldoze that house. Do you know where is it coming from? It's coming from the Palestinians' oppression, because since 70 odd years, the Palestinian people have been the victim of this bulldozer thing. Anything has been by the Israelis. Well, I'm talking about way before the war in the last 70 years. This policy has been implemented in India with impunity, and that's how to suppress the Muslim community in India. Same policy that has been going on in Palestine for years and years. Anybody who throws a little boy throws a stone at pelting stones at the tanks or the soldiers, their houses get demolished. And this is the kind of things that has been. So obviously somebody is guiding somebody in India, and this kind of nonsense is going on. Imrana, you have an experience in your city in Udaipur. You were talking about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So it was just a month before. So like I came here. So this is in August. So there were two young youth, aged maybe like 15 from a class 9th, and they had a fight among them, and one boy from a different community just snapped a knife on the other one on his knee, and he was brought to the hospital by a Muslim friend only, but that was not even covered by the media. That is the main thing. So all that the media got, that bits and bytes or interested thing is how to raise more sort of anger between the two communities. And that is what they were happy in doing that. And it's been long time now. They are doing this, and they are continuously doing that.
Okay.
So what happened? So this is the boy, unfortunately, he died.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a very sad news. And because of that, the government, or we can say the law there, the police, they have demolished the house of the boy. Actually, that was not actually his home. He was rented accommodation. So the owner, he pleaded to all that people and other people for that, that I have just given them as a tenant. But his newly constructed house was demolished, and a 2-story building it was. So that was being demolished.
Unbelievable, because constructing a house in India is not a cheap process. It's an expensive process.
Yeah.
People spend all their lives, their life savings to build a house, and that gets demolished. So that's injustice, as Sharad was talking about in his clip, has been gone now. Hopefully it will be taken a heed, and the prevailing government in India would stop doing this kind of thing. If there is an issue, you resolve, you do the legal thing and all that, but there is no need for sending the bulldozers there and demolishing the house. That has, as I told you earlier on, that has been an international policy of Israel against Palestinians, and that has been going on for 70 odd years by demolishing their houses, and that's been implemented in India against Muslims. No Hindu houses have been demolished either. So, but there you go. Anyway, the good news is that issue is gone. Now, moving on to the other issues, you have lined up some extraordinary songs, an interesting link to those songs. Talk about this Ashki 2. Tum Hi Ho. What is coming from?
Yeah, so we were just trying when you were not here. So when you were being to India, we were just trying to do some experiment or try to do something new into this. And as I'm being new here, so I've thought of having some new entertainment sort of thing.
Good.
And like a mixture of old version and the new versions, because your songs was more into an old one. Although that was
I'm
like
old, so
no, that's not like it's an all-time favorite.
Yeah.
But also we it's very hard. Sometimes you decide some songs. So we thought of having some theme to that.
Very good.
So
Very
I
good.
come up with an idea why not to take a birthdays of Bollywood celebrities. So which means we thought of introducing celebrities who had their birthday from last Friday to this Thursday.
Lovely.
So that's how this come up, and we just following this from 2 weeks, and this is the third week. And this show, we do have some couple of celebrities. We have Aditya Roy Kapoor. That's his song from Ashiki 2.
Okay, and that's his birthday today? Or?
Yeah, no. So he actually, I just like to give a brief background of his. So he was born in November 16, 1985 in Mumbai, and he had a family background. He initially started his career as a video jockey in a channel, and then he started developed an interest in Bollywood, and then he entered into Bollywood. So that was his first film from Ashiki 2. Then he has done a couple of good movies where Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, that's the second one and all.
Okay.
So this song is from his first movie, and that was really a hit movie.
Lovely. So let's play this song and see, sit back, relax and enjoy this particular song. Beautiful song, Ashki 2, Tum Hi Ho. And a wonderful song that has been super hit actually when it was released. Ashki 2, good few years ago it was released. What's you have lined up the next one?
So so we are trying to mix up all this religion, culture, everything together. So the next song is from Apar Shakti Khurana. So he's the one, he's a brother of Ayushmann Khurana, a very famous Bollywood actor. And he was born on November 18th, 1987. And he has been came into Bollywood with a debut in Dangal, which was in 2016, where he played the character of Omkar, a cousin of the lead character, the film directed by Nitesh Tiwari. And this became a massive hit and brought Apar Shakti Khurana into limelight. And he's also a big singer. So we are going to play a song which he has sung. And this is very famous and in trend song.
Okay. And this particular song has also been pretty hit actually, was it?
Yep.
Oh, great. Let's hear that. Beautiful song and sung by the brother of Ayushmann Khurana, Apar Shakti Khurana.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful song and a beautiful song. And you were saying that they are very popular on the reel these days on social media.
Yes, the Insta reels, you can in 10 reels, might be 3 or 4 reels might be on this song.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me about the next one, Chunari Chunari, the BB number 1.
Yes, so this is a song by Shushmita Sen, whom I'm going to tell you about. So she was born on 19th November 1975, and she's an Indian actress, model, beauty queen who were crowned Femina Miss India Universe in 1994, and she was later won the Miss Universe title in 1994 contest at the age of 18. Sen is the first Indian woman to win the championship, and primarily known for her work in Hindi film. She has also appeared in a lot of Tamil, Bengali and other film industries. And then she has been even awarded as Best Actress Award, Filmfare Actress Award in 1999. So here is the song where she has been in that.
In the song. And to let you know that I invited Sushmita Sen here once for the film festival and ended up talking to her. She's a good friend of mine now. But she didn't come because she wanted to come with her children and with her mother and the whole entourage. And I said, no, thank you very much. I can't afford all of that. If you want to come alone, you are single. And she was single at the time. So that was kind of no happened with her. She said, every year I go to a new country to celebrate my birthday. So I said, well, fair enough. If you can afford it, bring your family with you. But pay for that. I only can pay for one ticket alone as a festival guest. So obviously that didn't happen. Anyway, we'll see this song and listen to the song, BB number 1. So beautiful song, and that is a film called BV number 1, Salman Khan and Sushmita Sen. Wonderful. What you have lined up the next one?
Yeah, the next in this sequence is Zeenat Aman, and she was born on 19th November 1951. She's an Indian actress who has appeared in Bollywood films, notably in the era of 1970s and in 1980s. She was the second runner-up in the Miss India contest and went to win Miss Asia Pacific in 1970. Upon making her debut in Bollywood, Aman was credited with bringing the Western heroinic look to Hindi cinema, and Aman was drawn to more unconventional roles. She was cast as the opportunist who deserts her jobless lover for a millionaire in film Roti Kapda Aur Makan, the ambitious girl who considered aborting her baby to pursue her career in movie Ajnabi, the happy hooker in Manoranjan. So that's all like giving a new era or a new path to Indian cinema.
And she was also in Dawn 1 with Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
Zeenat Aman, of course. And of course, how can we forget Raj Kapoor's beautiful film Wolfset with Shashi Kapoor and Zeenat Aman. Beautiful songs of that film, and she was Raj Kapoor directed that film. I'm forgetting that name, but yeah, I mean, Zeenat Aman was being Zeenat Aman. I mean, she's been around. Latest of, if listeners would like to know, she's doing another friend of mine who's a filmmaker, Faraz. She's doing Bun Tikki. Bun Tikki is a in Mumbai you get this Bun Tikki but that's a metaphor for, I don't know the story exactly, but Shabana Azmi and Zeenat Aman are the two actresses who are playing the lead role. He's doing a post-production at the moment. He just shot that film. So she's still working and she's still thriving in the industry. And good luck to her. So there you go. We'll sit back and enjoy this Feroz Khan film, Laila O Laila. Do you remember Laila O Laila? I don't mind meeting Laila too. But there you go. Film The Qurbani. If you remember the Qurbani, the great Qurbani film, produced by and starred by Feroz Khan, no other than the delectable Feroz Khan. And you know what? He actually gave a break in this film to this song to a singer called Nazia Hassan and Suhaib Hassan, the two brothers and sisters, duo which came to Bollywood in Bombay from Pakistan. They were Pakistani from Karachi, and Feroz Khan was kind enough to give them a break. Anyway, so that's how it happened. And the next one you've lined up is, what are you talking about this? Who is this?
Yes. So before going on with that, there are a couple of other people from India. They are not actually from Bollywood. The first name is Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. So he's also known as Chacha Nehru, and his birthday is being celebrated as Children's Day. So that was on 14th November. He also has his daughter Indira Gandhi's birthday. She was also the first woman Prime Minister of India. So she was also there queued up in that. And then we also had Sania Mirza. She is a big celebrity from sports. She has been achieved a #1 rank in the women's world double long tennis. 3 people from, not from the Bollywood, but yes, from big personality, celebrity. So the last song which I'm going to play is from Badshah. So he actually had his birthday on 19th November, and he was born in 1985, and he's a very famous Indian rapper and singer, and from Hindi, Haryanvi and Punjabi music he's been into.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's his name?
Badshah.
Oh, Badshah. His nickname is Badshah.
Badshah, and his real name is Aditya Prateek Singh Sisodia, which is very big name.
Big name. Badshah is kind of like a nickname.
Yeah.
Lovely. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this particular song. It's a rap song. Wow, that is fantastic rap. And you're talking about the politicians who are also sharing the birthdays. So anybody left, or
I think we all are
we've
done.
covered.
We have covered, and we are on the time.
Just on time, and I probably will say goodbye. And thank you very much, Imrana, for joining me again today. And thank you very much, Lee, for looking after us technically, and indeed the contributors, Sharad in London and Charmaine. And this week, as I said, a comeback week for me after a lull of 2-3 weeks, and I'll be back next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to tune me in, and Imrana, 93.9 Dublin South FM. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.